Okay, I'm loading a reel today. Sammy's come in, wants to get one of the new Achios reels, the Nitron, which is very popular among the long casters because we've got a mag control on the outside of the reel, so we can control the reel during the cast without it blowing up, and you don't have to use your thumb. But anyhow, there's a trick I want to show you, which was taught to us by a famous caster, Neil McCallow, worked for Penn. Dear old boy passed away a few years ago, but he was a great caster, and he come up with this method of balancing line onto the spool as you load it. Let me show you that trick. So what we're going to do initially is we don't tie a knot for the line to the spool because that throws it out of balance. We just use a piece of tape. That's got two benefits. I've seen rods and reels disappear because of a knot on the spool. A big fish gets on it. Please excuse the wind noise, but there's nothing we can do about it. So I put a little bit of tape to hold the line on the spool. And then what we do is we're going to build a mound up in the center of the spool. All right, just like this. Now, when we first heard about this, we honestly thought it was bullshit. But Neil was right. It did quieten the reels down. So you build this mound up in the middle. And what it does, it stops the reel oscillating from side to side during the cast. And it quietens it right down. So by doing that mound, and then you fill one side, and then you fill the other side. Now you're ready to start loading the reel as normal. But Neil McCallow come up with this. It definitely works. It quietens the reels down and makes them real smooth during the cast. What we've done, we've come over to the line machine, all right? And so we're just going to load it as we would a normal reel. Once we've done this, we're going to put a shock leader on. But that's about balancing method, definitely quiets the reels down. Whoop, here we go. Keeping it nice and level. A little bit of tension on the spool. So this is 20-pound running line, which is ideal for fishing. That's what I use. I landed big jacks on it. I've landed quite a few big fish on this, just this sort of setup. But it will quieten the reel down. If you've got a reel that's making a lot of noise, just try balancing the line and you'll be amazed the difference it makes. Initially, when we first heard about it, we thought it was bullshit, but it wasn't. It does work. Neil McCallow come up with it. He was a great caster and a good thinker as well. He worked for Penn for a while. Then he moved to Cyprus. He became ill. I think he got back to the UK and passed away maybe 5 years ago. He was a young man. And he got early onset Alzheimer's, I believe. I'm not sure, but I think that's what it was. Last time I saw Neil McCallow was at the World Championships, which Big Lou McKeechin had put on, Winnie in Texas, and it was a great event. Neil was there and it was a lot of fun. So you don't want to overload these reels. Leave a nice gap. We're going to go on with the shock leader. There's plenty of line on there. Okay, so now I'm going to cut the line. And then we're going to do a join-in knot. We're going to put the shock leader on. So now we're going to move again. So now what we're going to do, we're taking 80-pound mono. I like yellow. It's a good line to fish with. You can see it pretty well, especially during the cast. And then I'm going to attach about 30 foot of 80-pound line, which takes the abrasion and the shock leader. The knot I'm using currently, I do this, okay, go through between the two. You're lucky I'm doing this, it's because it's cold and we're closing the shop early. No one's here, it's blowing from the north on that door making a lot of noise, but I thought I might as well show you this at the same time. Line balance does work. People may laugh about it, but it's really good. And not using a knot as well. I honestly have seen rods and reels disappear, brand new rods and reels disappear into the surf with a tarpon hanging on the other end of it. So then I pull the two together. So you end up with a nice small knot. Okay? Now, this is what I do. A lot of people say you shouldn't, but I don't care. It works for me. I take a little bit of super glue and I pop right on that knot. There. Now that just... The other trick you can do is make sure you don't, when you wind in, you put the knot to one side. A lot of people put their thumb here and it will undo a knot. This super glue on it saves you any problems. Cut the line nice and short. You've got super glue on there, shouldn't be a problem. So that's how you end up with a very neat little knot. Okay, so now I'm going to wind on approximately 30 foot. I take 5 or 6 turns around the spool here, and we go 1 fathom, 6 foot, 2, 12, there we go, 24, that should be 36 foot. And wind this on. These are a beautiful reel, by the way. Everyone's totally in love with them. I'm just going to put a clip on here for Sammy. All he's got to do is attach his rigs and add fish. That's it. Quick uni knot. Spit on it. Pull it together. Again, you end up with a nice small knot. This clip is as strong as you can get. They've never had any problems with them. Plus they're weedless, everything's inside the loop. Okay, now there's only one more thing we got to do for Sammy, and that's to add a thumb brake. Hang on. Okay, so we're taking this, is what's going to be the thumb brake. This new rubber we're using is really good. It's nice and pliable and soft. And we just attach it to the back of the reel. This goes in here. Like so. Now when you cast, all this does is prevents line slip prior to the cast. You can hold it. Then when you let go, just let go. And when you stop it with just your thumb. This is, you use it prior to letting go during the cast, is to lock it. And it does increase your distance. And if you're burning here, like this rubber should last you a good year. But if you see burn marks coming here, it's because you're slipping, you could be loading too early. So it can tell you that. All right, so really that should last a good year. Boom, that's it, ready to go.